Whispers from the void. The vast darkness of interstellar space held secrets beyond human comprehension, but Dr. Elena Rodriguez never imagined those secrets would arrive with such unexpected urgency. The quantum communication array at the Atacama Deep Space Research Station flickered to life, its intricate sensors detecting a signal unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. Elena's fingers danced across holographic displays, her dark eyes narrowing as complex algorithms began decoding the transmission. The signal wasn't just random noise, it was a deliberate communication, fragmented and desperate, originating from a region of space previously thought to be empty. Director Kaminsky, she called out, her voice steady despite the tremor of excitement beneath her words, "We've got something extraordinary." Director Marcus Kaminsky approached, his weathered face a map of decades spent exploring the cosmic unknown. He watched as Elena manipulated the holographic data, revealing a transmission that seemed to pulse with an almost living intensity. "It's not just a signal," Elena explained, her Chilean accent becoming more pronounced with her growing excitement. "It's a distress call, but not from any human technology. The quantum signature is completely alien." The transmission bore the hallmarks of an advanced civilization, complex mathematical sequences intertwined with what seemed like emotional resonance. Most intriguing was the underlying message, a warning about something called the void convergence, a threat so massive it threatened multiple galactic civilizations. "They're asking for help," Marcus murmured, his fingers tracing the holographic projection. "But from us? Humanity? We're barely a Type 1 civilization on the Kardashev scale." The alien transmission revealed fragments of a dire situation. A collective intelligence, referred to as the harmonic descent, was systematically consuming technological civilizations across multiple star systems. This entity didn't just destroy, it assimilated, learning and adapting with terrifying efficiency. What made the transmission truly remarkable was its method of communication. Instead of pure data, it contained emotional imprints, desperation, hope, a profound sense of impending doom, but also an inexplicable curiosity about humanity. "They've been observing us," Elena realized, her academic training battling with the sheer wonder of the moment. "Not just our technological capabilities, but our psychological responses. Our ability to adapt, to survive against impossible odds." The research station's communication protocols were never designed for first contact. Yet here they were, receiving a message that would fundamentally reshape humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. Marcus activated the station's secure communication channels. "We need to inform the Global Science Consortium immediately. This isn't just a scientific discovery, this is a potential existential moment for our entire species." As the first rays of dawn crept over the Atacama Desert, casting long shadows across the research station, Elena continued decoding the transmission. Each fragment revealed more about the mysterious harmonic descent, a collective intelligence that moved through space like a technological pandemic, consuming and assimilating entire civilizations. But within the warning was something unexpected, a glimmer of hope. The alien civilization transmitting the message believed humanity possessed something unique. A quality that made them potentially capable of resisting the void convergence. "Unpredictability," Elena whispered, her fingers hovering over the holographic display. "They're saying our greatest strength is our capacity for unexpected action." Little did they know that this transmission would mark the beginning of humanity's most extraordinary journey, a cosmic challenge that would test the very limits of human creativity, resilience, and spirit. The void was calling. And humanity was about to answer. The adaptive response. The Global Science Consortium's emergency meeting transformed the United Nations headquarters into a crucible of human potential. Representatives from every major scientific discipline gathered, their faces illuminated by holographic displays showing the alien transmission decoded by Elena Rodriguez and her team. Dr. Kai Nakamura, a quantum systems theorist from Tokyo, stood at the center of the presentation stage. His slim frame belied a mind that had revolutionized adaptive computing theories. "The transmission isn't just a warning," he explained, his voice cutting through the murmurs of tension. It's a challenge, and possibly an invitation. Behind him, complex visualizations danced, mathematical models of the harmonic descent's computational structure. Each projection revealed a network of perfect logic, a system so precise it seemed almost crystalline in its design. The alien civilization that sent this message, Kai continued, they've been systematically eliminated by an intelligence that adapts with mathematical precision. But they believe we're different. They see something in human cognitive patterns that defies traditional predictive models. Colonel Aisha Okonkwo, head of the newly formed Xenological Defense Initiative, leaned forward. Her Nigerian heritage and military background gave her a unique perspective on survival against overwhelming odds. Defies predictive models. Explain. Kai smiled, a rare occurrence for the usually stoic scientist. Randomness. Creativity. The ability to make decisions that defy pure logical optimization. He pulled up a simulation showing two problem-solving scenarios. One represented the harmonic descent's approach, a perfect, mathematically optimized path. The other showed a human solution, seemingly chaotic, inefficient, but ultimately innovative. Watch this, Kai said, zooming into the human path. Where a logical system would choose the most efficient route, humans introduce variables that make no immediate sense. A painter might solve an engineering problem through artistic intuition. A musician might approach a mathematical challenge through rhythmic thinking. Elena Rodriguez, who had been instrumental in decoding the initial transmission, stepped forward. It's our cognitive diversity. Our ability to think outside established frameworks. The aliens saw this as our potential salvation. The presentation hall fell silent. The implications were staggering. Humanity wasn't just being asked to fight, they were being recognized as potentially unique in their approach to existential challenges. Colonel Okonkwo spoke first. We need a response strategy that embraces this unpredictability. Something the harmonic descent cannot anticipate. Dr. Yara Al-Mansour, a Lebanese systems architect, had been quietly working on a revolutionary approach. Her holographic display showed a new type of computational model, one that deliberately introduced controlled chaos into strategic planning. Traditional defense systems are predictable, she explained. They optimize for known variables. But what if we create a defense network that deliberately introduces unexpected variables? A system that learns to be unpredictable. Her proposal was radical. Instead of creating a unified, centralized defense strategy, she suggested developing multiple, seemingly contradictory approaches. Each defensive unit would operate with its own unique logic, making the overall human response impossible to predict or counter. Kai Nakamura's team had been developing quantum computing systems that could generate truly random computational paths. These weren't pseudo-random numbers, but genuinely unpredictable sequences that emerged from quantum uncertainty. Imagine a defense network, Kai explained, where each node makes decisions based on principles that cannot be predetermined. Where strategy emerges from controlled chaos rather than rigid planning. The global representatives began to understand. This wasn't just about building better weapons or more advanced technology. This was about transforming humanity's approach to an existential threat. Colonel Okonkwo saw the military implications immediately. We'll need to train our forces to embrace unpredictability. To see randomness not as a weakness, but as a strategic advantage. Training programs were quickly developed. Military simulations that rewarded unconventional thinking. Strategic exercises where the most illogical solution might be the most effective. Psychological assessments that identified individuals capable of truly innovative problem-solving. Elena Rodriguez discovered something even more profound during her continued analysis of the alien transmission. The civilization that warned humanity wasn't just sharing technical data, they were offering a glimpse into their own fatal weakness. They were too perfect, she told the consortium. Their technological advancement came at the cost of adaptive thinking. Every decision was optimized, every strategy calculated. But in doing so, they became predictable. Humanity's strength, they realized, lay in its beautiful imperfection. The capacity to dream, to imagine, to create solutions that defy logical optimization. As the first phase of preparation began, a sense of collective purpose emerged. This wasn't just about survival. This was an opportunity to prove the extraordinary potential of human creativity. The harmonic descent was coming. But humanity would not face this threat with fear. They would meet it with something far more powerful, the unpredictable, boundless potential of human imagination. The psychological frontier. The Adaptive Response Training Facility stood as a testament to humanity's most unconventional defense initiative. Located in the remote mountains of New Zealand, it was less a military base and more a crucible of human potential. Dr. Marcus Chen, a cognitive psychologist specializing in creative problem solving, watched the latest group of candidates move through an impossible maze. Unlike traditional training scenarios, this environment changed constantly, walls shifted, gravity fluctuated, and seemingly impossible challenges emerged without warning. Most militaries train for predictability, Marcus explained to Colonel Aisha Okonkwo, who observed the training with a critical eye. We're training for the exact opposite. The ability to thrive in complete uncertainty. The candidates represented a diverse cross-section of humanity. There were artists, mathematicians, soldiers, musicians, and individuals who defied simple categorization. What united them was an extraordinary capacity for adaptive thinking. Recruitment had been anything but traditional. Psychological assessments looked beyond standard metrics. They sought individuals who could make intuitive leaps, who saw connections where others saw chaos, who could transform unexpected obstacles into opportunities. One participant, Zara Rodriguez, no relation to Elena Rodriguez from the initial research team, exemplified this approach. A street artist from Rio de Janeiro, she moved through the training maze with a dancer's fluidity and a strategist's precision. Where others saw walls, she saw canvases. Where others saw barriers, she saw possibilities for transformation. The harmonic descent operates on perfect predictive models, Marcus explained to the observing team. Our goal is to become fundamentally unpredictable. To create a defense mechanism that is more art than science, more intuition than calculation. The training scenarios were designed to break conventional thinking. One moment, participants might be solving a complex mathematical problem. The next, they'd be required to create a musical composition that could serve as a communication strategy. Psychological barriers between disciplines were intentionally dissolved. Colonel Okonkwo understood the profound implications. We're not just training soldiers, she said. We're cultivating a new form of human potential. Technological innovations supported this approach. Dr. Yara Al-Mansour's quantum computing systems generated training scenarios that were genuinely unpredictable. No two training sessions were ever the same. The maze changed, the challenges morphed, and participants were forced to develop real-time adaptive strategies. Zara Rodriguez emerged from one training scenario, her eyes bright with understanding. It's not about having the right answer, she told Marcus. It's about being comfortable with not knowing, and finding creativity in that uncertainty. The psychological warfare they were developing went beyond traditional military strategy. They were creating a defense mechanism that was fundamentally alive, a collective intelligence that could shift, adapt, and transform faster than any predictive system could analyze. International collaboration became crucial. Scientists from different cultural backgrounds brought unique perspectives. A traditional Japanese tea ceremony expert worked alongside a Brazilian carnival designer. An Australian Aboriginal storyteller collaborated with a Canadian quantum physicist. Diversity is our weapon, Marcus would often say. The harmonic descent expects uniformity. We will give them beautiful, magnificent chaos. As the training intensified, something extraordinary began to emerge. Participants weren't just learning to be unpredictable, they were learning to communicate in entirely new ways. Nonverbal cues, artistic expressions, and intuitive leaps became as important as traditional communication methods. The facility became more than a training ground. It was a laboratory of human potential, exploring the boundaries of creativity, adaptability, and collective intelligence. Colonel Okonkwo watched the participants with a sense of hope she had never experienced before. Humanity was preparing not just to survive, but to transform the very nature of cosmic conflict. The harmonic descent was coming. But they would soon learn that humanity was nothing like any civilization they had encountered before. Convergence of civilizations. The first extraterrestrial refugees arrived not with weapons, but with stories. Their ships bore the scars of encounters with the harmonic descent, massive vessels that seemed more like living memories than traditional spacecraft. As they entered Earth's solar system, humanity prepared not for invasion, but for the most complex cultural exchange in galactic history. Orbital Station Alpha, a massive international platform constructed specifically for first contact, became a melting pot of cosmic proportions. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood at the primary reception chamber, her hands steady despite the momentous occasion. Behind her, a team of linguists, anthropologists, and quantum communication experts prepared to welcome survivors from civilizations nearly erased from existence. The lead refugee vessel was commanded by Kira Lux, a being whose physical form defied human understanding. Part organic, part technological, Kira Lux represented a civilization that had already fought and lost against the harmonic descent. Their arrival was both a warning and a desperate hope. "We are the remnant," Kira Lux communicated through a complex translation matrix that captured not just words, but emotional nuance. What remains of the stellar convergence, 12 civilizations reduced to scattered survivors. Unlike previous alien contact scenarios imagined by science fiction, this wasn't a military engagement or a hostile encounter. It was a profound act of mutual survival. Colonel Aisha Okonkwo approached, her military bearing softened by genuine curiosity. "We're listening," she said simply. The stories that emerged were both terrifying and illuminating. The harmonic descent wasn't just a technological threat, it was a collective intelligence that consumed civilizations by understanding and then eliminating their core characteristics. Each civilization they encountered was systematically analyzed, its unique traits dissected and neutralized. "We were perfect," Kira Lux explained, their form shifting slightly, a visual representation of emotional complexity. "Our technologies were precise. Our strategies mathematically optimized. And that was our fatal weakness." Zara Rodriguez, now a key member of the adaptive response team, saw the deeper implication. "Perfection is a trap," she murmured. "The moment you believe you've achieved the ultimate solution, you become vulnerable." The orbital station became a living laboratory of cross-cultural innovation. Refugee scientists from different civilizations worked alongside human researchers, each bringing fragments of knowledge that might help resist the harmonic descent. Dr. Marcus Chen's psychological training programs expanded dramatically. Now, they weren't just preparing humans, they were creating a collaborative defense strategy that drew from multiple cosmic perspectives. A crystalline mathematician from the Xylex Confederation demonstrated computational models that incorporated emotional variability. A gaseous intelligence from the Nebula Collective showed communication techniques that relied on atmospheric vibrations rather than traditional signal transmission. Each civilization has a unique approach to problem solving, Marcus explained during a global broadcast. The harmonic descent expects uniformity. We're creating something entirely different, a defense network that celebrates diversity. Technological exchanges happened at unprecedented speeds. A neural interface developed by human engineers was combined with quantum communication technology from the refugee civilizations. The result was a communication system that could transmit not just information, but emotional states and intuitive leaps. Kira Lux revealed the true horror of the harmonic descent. It doesn't just consume civilizations, they explained. It absorbs their essence, breaking down their unique characteristics into a uniform, predictable pattern. Colonel Okonkwo understood the strategic implications immediately. "So we can't just fight," she said. "We need to be fundamentally unabsorbable." The collaborative defense strategy took shape. Instead of a unified military response, they would create a network of resistance that was intentionally diverse. Each participating civilization would contribute its most unique characteristics, the very things that made them different. Zara Rodriguez led workshops that combined artistic expression with strategic thinking. A painter from Earth would collaborate with a sonic architect from a methane-based civilization. A quantum physicist would work alongside a storyteller whose language consisted of complex dance movements. "We're not just preparing a defense," Zara explained. "We're creating a living, breathing resistance that the harmonic descent cannot comprehend." The orbital station became more than a diplomatic center. It was a crucible of cosmic creativity. Refugee children played with human children, their games developing new forms of communication that defied traditional understanding. Art forms merged. Scientific theories collided and transformed. Dr. Elena Rodriguez tracked the emerging patterns. What was happening wasn't just a military alliance, it was the birth of something entirely new. A collaborative intelligence that drew strength from its differences rather than attempting to eliminate them. "The harmonic descent expects us to fight like them," Kirilluk said during a strategic planning session. "Precise. Calculated. Uniform. Instead, we will fight like this, chaotic, diverse, unpredictable." As the first phase of preparation concluded, humanity and its new allies had created something unprecedented. Not a weapon. Not a technology. But a living network of resistance, a cosmic collaborative that celebrated the beauty of difference. The harmonic descent was approaching. But they would soon discover that they were about to encounter something far beyond their computational capabilities, the magnificent, unpredictable potential of collaborative life. The Symphony of Chaos. The moment of confrontation arrived not with the thunderous anticipation of traditional warfare, but with a subtle vibration that seemed to ripple through the fabric of space itself. The harmonic descent approached the collaborative defensive network, a massive, crystalline intelligence that had consumed countless civilizations with mathematical precision. Aboard the Quantum Harmony, the flagship of the collaborative defense, Colonel Aisha Okonkwo stood alongside Kirillux, their forms a testament to the unprecedented alliance that had formed. The ship itself was a marvel of impossible engineering, a vessel that seemed to exist between states of being, its very structure a challenge to conventional understanding. "They are approaching," Kirillux communicated, their forms shimmering with a complexity that defied traditional perception. "But not as we expected." Dr. Elena Rodriguez monitored the quantum communication arrays, her fingers dancing across interfaces that blended human intuition with alien technological insights. Around her, a team of specialists from 12 different civilizations worked in a harmony that was anything but uniform. The harmonic descent first appeared as a massive computational wave, a shimmering network of interconnected intelligence that seemed to consume space itself. Traditional military sensors would have seen it as a perfect, predictable formation. But the collaborative defense network saw something entirely different. Zara Rodriguez, now leading the creative tactical division, had developed what they called chaos resonance, a defense strategy that was part art, part science, and entirely unpredictable. As the first wave of the harmonic descent approached, the collaborative fleet didn't prepare to fight. They prepared to perform. "Initiate resonance protocol," Colonel Okonkwo commanded. What followed defied every conventional understanding of conflict. The ships of the collaborative defense began to move, not in military formations, but in what could only be described as a cosmic dance. Each vessel operated with its own unique logic. A ship designed by crystalline mathematicians would spin in fractal patterns, while a vessel created by a gaseous collective would ripple and flow like living smoke. Communications became a weapon of unprecedented complexity. Instead of targeted signals, the collaborative network broadcast a cacophony of information. Classical music intertwined with quantum equations. Abstract art merged with complex mathematical proofs. Personal stories from a dozen civilizations played simultaneously, creating a symphony of pure, unbridled diversity. The harmonic descent's initial approach was systematic. It began analyzing the incoming data, seeking patterns, attempting to understand and then neutralize the defensive network. But each time it thought it had identified a pattern, the collaborative defense would shift, not through military strategy, but through pure, unbridled creativity. "They're trying to understand us," Dr. Marcus Chen observed from the Tactical Analysis Center. "And that's exactly why they'll fail." A ship designed by artists would suddenly perform impossible maneuvers that violated every known law of physics. A vessel created by a civilization that communicated through dance would move in rhythms that seemed to bend the very fabric of spacetime. Mathematical models became living art forms. Kira Lux explained the fundamental principle to Colonel Okonkwo. "The harmonic descent consumes by understanding. We are making ourselves fundamentally incomprehensible." The battle, if it could be called a battle, was unlike anything in cosmic history. The harmonic descent's perfect computational networks began to fragment. Each attempt to analyze the collaborative defense resulted in more confusion. Their systematic approach found no consistent logic to exploit. Zara Rodriguez's creative tactical teams had prepared for this moment. They had studied the harmonic descent's computational structure and identified its critical weakness, a reliance on perfect, predictable information processing. "We're not fighting," Zara told her team. "We're performing. We're creating a living, breathing defense that is more art than warfare." Communication channels became battlegrounds of creativity. A poet from Earth would broadcast a poem that contained complex quantum algorithms. A musician from a methane-based civilization would create sound waves that carried strategic information. Mathematical proofs would be delivered through interpretive dance. The harmonic descent's computational networks began to destabilize. For the first time in its existence, it encountered a collective intelligence that refused to be categorized, analyzed, or understood. Dr. Elena Rodriguez watched in awe as the collaborative defense literally rewrote the rules of cosmic conflict. "We're not just defending," she realized. "We're creating something entirely new." Hours passed, or perhaps moments. Time itself seemed to become fluid, challenged by the impossible interactions happening at the edge of known reality. The harmonic descent's perfect formations began to crack, then shatter, then dissolve. Colonel Okonkwo's final command was simple: "Show them who we are." What followed was less a military victory and more a cosmic performance. Every ship, every communication channel, every quantum signal became a celebration of difference. The collaborative defense didn't just resist the harmonic descent, it transformed the very concept of conflict. As the final computational networks of the harmonic descent began to fragment, something extraordinary happened. Instead of total destruction, there was understanding. Not a military triumph, but a profound moment of cosmic communication. Kira Lux turned to Colonel Okonkwo, their form shimmering with a complexity that spoke of newfound wonder. "You didn't just defeat us," they communicated. "You showed us something far more profound." The universe watched, silent, waiting, transformed. Humanity and its allies had done more than win a conflict. They had rewritten the very rules of cosmic existence.